Hi friends, good morning, good evening, as per your time zone. I'm Kumkum Sharma from 𝐻𝐸𝐿, and on the behalf of entire 𝐻𝐸𝐿 team, I would like to welcome you all on live open session episode 37. So guys, it's a great news. We have finished 36 episodes successfully, and we got the very good reviews, and people are getting benefited from these sessions. So let's start the session without wasting any more time. So let me just quickly explain you how we are running these session and why we are running these session. The agenda is very simple. Whatever you want to ask related to Agile, Scrum, scaling, Kanban, PMP, you can ask your questions related to best certification for your career, and Saket will definitely answer your questions. We are live on LinkedIn and YouTube, and you can add your questions in the comment section. I'll add your question, and Saket will answer your question. And see, the whole agenda behind the sessions, we were last year when we started all these sessions, there were a lot of people asking about the best certification for their growth, right certification for their growth, and they are getting benefited from these sessions. So ask your questions and just start this session. So Saket, I don't want to start the session today, so how you want to start the session today?
So we wait for a few more questions or people who, if they have any queries. Yeah, this is a wait time anyway. It's their opportunity to interact. Yeah, so we see how things emerge. From our YouTube space, I think we have been just updating the videos coming from the last open hour sessions. We have not yet given some new YouTube content for a while. We do intend to do some more Jira videos. We have a backlog of risk management doing in a Jira. So there are many alternatives which we need to explore and share, because there is no only one way of doing. So that's why we kind of taking time to come up with that particular video. And then we also have few more Jira related videos which are in pipeline. Other than Jira, we also tend to start working on project management content. We have a decent content on project management already. Recently, we started running a series on project scheduling related terms, because we got a feedback that there are so many terms in project scheduling. Can we get some assistance on that? So what we did, because also people want to know a quick reference. So it's like not taking too much time, but kind of a glossary where we can just understand the terms. So we thought that the Instagram might be a better channel for that, because YouTube, we do little long duration videos. So on Instagram, we created a series and we posted many videos talking about project scheduling. So if some of you who are on Instagram can follow us, it's a simple handler. We call it 𝐻𝐸𝐿 Official. If you are joining through YouTube, you can see that comment coming in your chat box also right now in the comment area if you are watching this particular a live recording. If you are watching from LinkedIn, somehow the comments don't go directly there. So you probably need to just go to Instagram and write 𝐻𝐸𝐿 Official. You will find our recent reels. So good number of reels has been posted on project scheduling. More will come. And we also initiated talking about the professional coaching space on Instagram. So there is a modification in something called competencies. There was an ICF competency which were expected from coach, and some amount of tweaking has been done. So we are coming up with small video reels talking about those new ICF competencies. So in order to remain in touch with these small pieces, I recommend if one can attach on Instagram, and we'll see if that channel grows, we may end up doing some Instagram lives as well, where we can have maybe a better communication, because there I think the audience can also join in. Here it's still a text-based interaction, but there they can have a voice and video-based interaction in case someone wants to come and talk about things. So that's another thing which is happening. The clubhouse conversations are going good from since we met last time. So it's been 2 weeks and we had two great clubhouse conversations. We explored various ideas related to the certification journey, related to estimation, how to do things in safe, how to get into scaled agile framework as a particular role, how to get into leadership space. So there were various queries and questions which we discussed. We also explored people exploring to make Gantt chart kind of stuff using Jira, and we had nice conversation about it. Maybe one should not do that, but yeah, that's all conversation we had in our clubhouse group as well. So if someone is wants to listen to those conversation, it's easy. You just need to have a clubhouse as an app. You search 𝐻𝐸𝐿 there. You can find our club, which is kind of a group there, which is called Agile, Scrum, 𝐻𝐸𝐿, something like that. And then you join there and you can find the previously concluded conversations as well. So that's a good place to start. And if you like the stuff which we are doing, then you can just follow our future conversation. So that's something we can do. So yeah, new channels of interaction. The more we connect with each other, the better it is. The good part of once we start Instagram lives, probably, or at least clubhouses, we end up having a platform where we can also listen to other people's experience. It's more interactive in nature, so I think it adds more value. One may want to try it out before we really know how much it is useful. So recommendation is simple: go to Clubhouse and search for our group there or a club there, and that might be a nice thing to do. So two things I shared: our Instagram channel and the Clubhouse channel. Now, in the meantime, if many of you I see are live now, in case you have any question for me, where you feel I can assist, anything, any concept which you want to explore, or you want to know some of the certification which we run. We have our portfolio of certification programs. If you have any query related to those certification program, about appropriateness, about the process, this is a good place to have conversation about your queries. Okay, yeah, so we are getting some questions here. So let's take a certification query. I have one question related to path of Agile. I did CSM in 2019 to understand the basics of Scrum, and now the CSPO. So I am assuming that you have done CSM and CSPO. That's an assumption I'm making. And you did CSM in 2019 to understand how Scrum operates. But I am adding this information. You might realize that you need to work more into product space, maybe as a product owner or as a business analyst supporting the product owner, or maybe as a Scrum Master also, but getting more involved in a product ownership space. And that's why you did CSPO. That's what I'm picking up. Now, I also see that now you are planning to do SAFe and ACP. So it's a good idea in general. So the essence here is, see, these agile frameworks are distributed. They are not, though they have a common thread, common principle, which is agile way of working, which is interactive, continuous exploration, fast feedback loop. But many terminology, many processes, and the things operate are little spread across. So the Scrum way of working, you have sufficient knowledge, and I am assuming that you might be working in the Scrum space. The scaled agile framework is a little bit different because it focuses on integrating multiple agile teams for a common purpose. Yeah, so you have a bigger scaling, and it goes to an enterprise level alignment as well. So learning about scaled agile framework is definitely a plus point for a Scrum Master or someone who is working in a Scrum profession, because there is a high probability either in your current organization or the place you try to join, they might be using, or your client might be using, some portion of scaled agile framework, or they might be thinking of going into a scaled agile framework. So if you can demonstrate that you have a good knowledge about it, it's a good thing to do. Yeah, that's something you can do. PMI ACP is still a basic agile certification program where whatever you have learned in your CSM, CSPO, 60 to 70% content will remain same. The addition thing could be that they may add some ideas which may go beyond just basic understanding of Agile and Scrum. But in case if your experience and your profile and interest is ready for it, I would suggest going for PMP. Yeah, so that's something is a good idea. So my recommendation is doing leading safe is good thing because it's a small time investment. You earn the certificate soon. And if you are working in a service organization where project way of working is pretty common, from our side, I would recommend you doing PMP certification because it has sufficient amount of agility in it. And I believe it has a different kind of agility, which is like a hybrid agility. It also makes you ready to work with different people differently because there could be a situation where part of your project required predictability and part of your project required continuous adaptability. You need to change things frequently. So the PMP is designed to take care of both. It is designed to educate professionals so they can work in a traditional project management as well as in adaptive project management at the same time. Yeah, so that's a kind of a uniqueness. So yeah, that's what I can say. Okay, so interesting thing. Hopefully it serves, answers your question. If not, you can drop the follow-up query here. So I have a question. Some person is like, the query is that I have a project coordinator job interview. I have done some amount of preparation using LinkedIn Learning. I have learned PM Agile concepts, but never used Jira or Kanban. Yeah. So it's like this. Jira is like Excel of Agile. Yeah. So nobody, when you go for any project management or coordination job, they may not expect you to be a master of Excel, but they expect you that you should be able to operate and process your data using Excel, more or less like that. So if one is looking for making a space in a coordination and facilitation where Agile is used, so knowing Jira is a good idea because in our experience, wherever we teach work with Agile teams, we find Jira is there. Yeah, they do have a Jira where very rarely we find Azure DevOps, but majority of the time we find Jira. So and if you know one, yeah, maybe you know some of any of the Agile way of working, then tool, then you can find the other tool very fast. So I recommend you should have some familiarity with Jira. Now, how to do it? We have some set of videos, I think 14-15 videos. If you follow from one video onwards, the first video we teach you how to pick up the free account from Jira. So you can create your free account and then you can create some data and play with it. We have 13-14 videos which can help you doing that. So that's something you can start now. You just search on YouTube, Jira 𝐸𝐮𝐵ridge, you will find those videos. We will share the steps which helps you in creating the free account. Now, in case you feel that I want to know a little more, I want to learn and can someone teach me, we do run Jira trainings also. They are very cost-effective, short duration programs, which if you feel after doing those online video content yourself, you can enroll where we can show you, handhold you to use Jira well. Yeah, so that's something I can suggest here. So Trello is little too simple, but yeah, you get the essence if you work with Jira as well. Okay, so there is a query, I believe a technical query in a way, but let's explore. I share my idea. If delay of completing user story by 3 days before handing over to testing team, how do you handle the situation? So see, again, someone is bringing that I have a testing team, etc. We need to be very careful when we are dealing with these questions because Agile way of working, we expect a common team. Yeah, so that's a thing. There is the recommendation in Agile way of working is we should have a common purpose, which is a product delivery, rather than a purpose of development and testing coming separately. All of us are cross-functional. We are expected to work together as a one unit to achieve the project objective or a product objective, whatever is your context. Now we are together. We are, say, 9 people together and we are working to achieve that. On a daily basis, we are knowing each other's problems and solving them. We are not saying everybody is perfect. We are solving those problems. There is definitely a possibility someone might be more skilled in doing test kind of activities. Someone might be more skilled in doing development kind of activities. But they are part of the same team and they talk to each other, they collaborate with each other, they share information with each other on a daily basis. Yeah, that's the whole essence. Now, when that collaboration is happening, if something is getting delayed, we should be discussing it as soon as it get delayed, and anyone in the team should be able to help. So as a leader, you call yourself Scrum Master, whatever leader your role has, you should ensure that there is an open and frequent communication inside the team so that problems get exposed early and the solutions can be found together. Yeah. We don't have a prescription. If this happens, do that. If we have those kind of a script, it means we are just having a very predictable work where things can be just predicted and we can just follow a book like a recipe. But when we are doing development, we are expecting, especially where Agile Scrum is used, we are expecting the situations are very, very dynamic. It's not possible to have a script to play. And that's why the solution is engagement, collaboration, and knowledge exchange and knowledge sharing on a regular basis. So that's something you should focus on, and probably that will help you to find your way. Yeah. Okay. So the question is, for Agile Scrum Master role, for the ceremonies, how do we generally track the issues and make a note of it? In general, how Scrum Master work? Is it an Excel sheet where they keep a issue, track of, etc., etc.? Okay, so the follow-up question is coming is that I'm asking to note each day of work as well as to follow up work as the team does the thing. Now, see, whenever we are working in a team, we must have a mechanism to identify what is going on, where we are blocked. We must have a mechanism. Now, depending upon how our teams are organized, we may need to use tools or we may need to use a wall. Yeah, you can say we can have a visual wall, and there we can create our Kanban board and we can put a stickies to identify what is working and what is not working. Now, Excel is still a pretty popular tool. Yeah. So though I spoke about Jira in the beginning, but yeah, there are Google Sheets which are also doing a decent job when people are working. Now, what is expected? Depending upon which Scrum ceremony we are talking about. So for example, when we are doing sprint planning meeting. So as a result of a sprint planning meeting, we should come up with our sprint board, yeah, or a sprint plan. Now, when you are doing a sprint plan, if you are using a tool like Jira, you need to create that sprint plan inside the Jira. You can do, say, product backlog item by item also. You can make it in Excel and you can import also. So that's something one has to start with a plan. Now, you have a one place where the sprint plan is placed. Now, at the same place, when we are doing daily Scrum, we should do an update. I should not create a separate place where daily actions are there and sprint plan is somewhere else. So wherever you prepare your sprint plan, that becomes your key source of information, and that becomes your key place where you want to edit things as they are going on. So as you do a daily Scrum, a result of a daily Scrum may result into some items got completed, some items got postponed, some items got blocked. The sprint plan should get updated. Now, wherever it is, if it's in a Google Sheet, you ensure that everybody has a decent access of it. You work together and you update that. If it's a Jira, you ensure that during your daily Scrum, everybody can look at a sprint backlog in the Jira and they can edit the things as things are emerging. You may have a separate impediment board. Sometimes impediment board can be taken care inside the sprint board only, because you can identify some issues which are flagged. You can create those issues and dependency so that many times the board itself can work as a storage for impediments as well. But there is a probability you may have a separate thing for that. So look for a tool which is accessible to your team, to your organization, but have something. That's the thing. In any leadership space, we can't imagine where people keep talking and there is no fallback step to it. So we made a plan. There should be a plan. We have adjustment in the plan. There should be a place where we are adjusting the plan. So it should be a continuous ongoing activities. If you are looking for an interview space, then learn Jira. If you are looking for your current problem space, then see whatever is available. Jira licenses are free up to 10 users. You can put it for your team if your organization allows you, because even if you are getting it free, but you are putting your organization data into it, so you may need to take an acceptance from the organization for using it. Yeah. So that's how things can work. Okay, I think I have completed the queries till now posted. So if anyone has a follow-up idea here, please let me know. Else we pause and hope if you have any query, you can paste it here. Okay, so that's the process which we are in.
So, Saket, meanwhile, we are waiting for the more questions. Can I ask you something?
Please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So many times we discussed about the Scrum path and the if people entering into the scaling world or project management. So just I want to understand the path for the agile coaches and what could be the next step for the agile coaches and what could be the best certification if one already achieved the ICT ACC agile coach or the agile team facilitation. So what could be the next certification path for them?
Good. So how can you ask your query? Some comment came. The way you type, how can I ask my query? This is how you ask your query. You just type it. Yeah, the same way it will reach us. The way the statement, how can I ask my query reached us? Yeah. So please do that.
Sally.
Type it at the same place. Yeah, it will reach here. Now, the question is related to that how usually the agile coaches are taking career forward. Again, each career, each path is unique, especially when it reaches to a middle management or senior management level. When you get into a leadership space, the next step is not very defined. It depends. Some people stay where they are for very, very long time. Some people start getting diversification in a different way. So they start doing diversification in a separate way. So these YouTube comments are not going to LinkedIn comment, Kumkum. So you can't reply to YouTube using LinkedIn. Yeah. So now that's the thing. So each path forward will be different. So someone who is at an agile coach level, they need to figure it out what they want to do next. Now, having said that, as we have a blog explaining about various types of agile coaching roles. There are team level coaching roles, there are multi-team level coaching roles, and there are enterprise level coaching roles. So that's something we can see are in existence. Now, somebody may say that my career progression would be that I am right now working at a team level, and then I want to go to a enterprise level. How I do that. So the one of the thing which we need to focus on is that rather than focusing on a level, we need to focus more on competencies. So I can say that I am working right now at a multi-team level. I am more responsible for working with Scrum Masters and guiding them to do things further. If I do an enterprise level, I work with more senior executives and I will coach people like myself who are dealing with the day-to-day agile and scrum related challenges. So I need to develop some competencies which can help me in doing influence at an enterprise level, do a system thinking, proposing some framework for overall assessment of our agility, and many times also getting involved in a transformation activity, which means that we may want to bring a change at an organization level. Nowadays, the transformation is not a one-time job. Some amount of transformations are happening every 2 years. So it's a continuous things because we are learning something new and we need to change the organization as per that particular learning. So I do see many agile coaches who are working at a multiple team level aspire to get into enterprise coaching where they want to get involved in more transformation, system level intervention, more level of senior executive assistance and consulting, and that can be a possible career path. Now, how should I go for it? List down the competency and develop those competencies. Is there some formal education programs can help me? The answer is yes. There are different competencies can be built using different programs. For example, that if you want to develop coaching and conversation skills, you may want to go for ICF coaching program. If you want to develop a specific skill related to transformation, strategization, and preparing a roadmap for transformation related stuff, then IC Agile CAT program can also help, which helps you particularly to understand how to design and work and implement the transformation with the help of by continuing with agile mindset. So doing transformation with agile mindset is one of the goal of learning of ICP CAT. So that could be a one program one can look at, and then you need to have skills like large group facilitation, skills like system level thinking, knowing various kind of assessment frameworks, and probably having some amount of domain understanding. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much again. I think I have a follow-up question. I'll come back again. I think Siali has some questions, so we can take that.
So what we can see here is that after doing PSM certification, not having practical experience working as a Scrum Master, can I go as a Scrum Master? So it depends upon who is hiring you and why they should hire you. So the idea here is I need to bring something on the table which is attractive for the person who is hiring me. Yeah. Now, one thing is that I have already shown my interest in learning Scrum. Yeah. Is it good enough to make me differentiated and take care of my gaps of practical experience? Now, if yes, what probably are the things which can make me eligible for that? So I need to think of my own competencies. Again, there may be a different individuals having different competencies. Now, just because of a certification, very unlikely someone get hired. Maybe certification helps you in getting the interview. Rest depends upon how do you perform in the interview. You very, very rarely that just certification, be it a certified Scrum Master or a professional Scrum Master, helps you in going that forward. Yeah. So now that's the thing. Now, once that is done, that understanding is done, now you need to find out, okay, what do I do? Yeah, how do I take my journey forward, assuming I have less experience and I want to develop those competencies? So think of a job profile and what kind of skills are asked there. So usually you will see the certification, along with the certification, people ask for facilitation skills. A good amount of facilitation skills are asked. That's something is there. So yeah, that's something you can do, and you can learn and practice it, as well as they will ask some tool specific skills, as we discussed in a previous conversation as well, like Jira related stuff. So if you want to have little assistance for that, then we do have a program. We call it Industry Enabled Scrum Master Program, which helps you in learning what is there in industry so that you have an awareness about it, so that you can build skills around it. Yeah, because what we learn in a certification program is little higher level. It is made generically, which can be applied at a wide range of organization. But when we are looking for a job, we may need to become specific, where we need to focus on what kind of things are done in a given organization. So that's something you need to find out. So IESM, you can find out the details of IESM in our content outline. Yeah. Okay, so looks like a similar question. I have done PSM, CSM. Should I go for Safe Scrum Master certification? My organization is undergoing agile transformation, but they are far from a scale. So I would say the Safe certifications are good if your organization is using Scaled Agile. Yeah, that's the important thing, because getting experience in Scaled Agile is a very, very good idea. Yeah. So see, what my recommendation is, look for what role you can play in your organization transformation journey. And if you can take some certification which makes you ready for that role, that will be good. Yeah, because you need to have a role to play with. So if you see the environment is moving towards safe, then probably you invest your own time and energy and money and you learn about safe, and then you might be ready to help your other colleague in getting into safe, and that can probably help you also in improving your profile because you help the organization in doing transformation. So if that's the case, you can do that. It's a good idea. Just for learning safe, we have a 50 plus videos on our YouTube. You can start from there and then you can take the journey forward. Yeah, that's something there. Now, which certification of safe? Generally, I recommend if you have not yet started working in safe environment, then I recommend leading safe certification program because it gives most comprehensive understanding of safe. Yeah, that's something you can follow. Now, if you are saying my organization is doing for transformation, but they are not going to use safe, they are doing just Scrum transformation or they are doing just Agile transformation, then probably you want to join the group who is leading the transformation, maybe indirectly or as an extended group. And in order to be more, say, useful for them, you may want to learn probably some coaching skills so that you can help them in doing the transformation. So, and if you do that, you probably position yourself as an agile coach who is helping your organization in doing that particular transformation. So if you see that opportunity happening, then doing ICP ACC certificate is also a good idea. Again, certificate gives you a language, a perspective, yeah, and then you build on that language and perspective and try to get a job in your organization to practice something of it. Yeah, if you get that click, then you can say make multi-fold returns from your certification. If you just get a certification, then you may not be able to make that much outcome out of it. So see what you can try and add a certification which can help you in getting that particular extended role. Yeah. So safe versus less, I would say that I'm not expert of less. My knowledge of less is limited to what is available in the public domain. But what we usually understand is less focuses on still a sprint. Yeah, in a safe word, we have a long duration planning, which we call it PI, and then we do iteration level planning. But less focuses on keeping things inside the sprint only, not dividing into a PI planning or a iteration planning. And then since there are multi-team environment, they plan to do the sprint planning in such a way so that it becomes a joint sprint planning. Yeah. But in order to make that process work, they talk about redesigning your team and structure so that interdependencies are minimized, yeah, which SAFe is not focusing on. Yeah. So that's something I can say here. Yeah. I think you can learn about both. ScaledAgileFramework.com is an extensive space for learning safe. We have videos about safe. I think Les also has a website called les.works if it still works. Yeah. So you can go to les.works and you can find out and learn about Les from the public domain space. So saying my organization has started with the PI planning, but not efficient. As a Scrum Master, I'm facilitating. I think then it's good. Yeah. So if you are already a Scrum Master in a safe space, then I would recommend you doing Safe Scrum Master. You have probably Safe Advanced Scrum Master rather than just a Scrum Master because you already did CSM and PSM. So probably you do Safe Advanced Scrum Master and work hard in a safe environment, understand everything, learn from all the videos because you can position your profile for a better and more challenging assignments if you learn the day-to-day challenges and their experiences related to your safe implementation. Okay, so question is, what is definition of done? What is the definition of ready? What is an acceptance criteria? All these things are available in our YouTube space. So if you just click a definition of ready 𝐻𝐸𝐿, you will get a 5-10 minute video which will explain it, because talking about these many things might be confusing here. So I recommend you to check out the definition of done, definition of ready, acceptance criteria, the difference between these in our YouTube channel. Yeah, and then if you have any subsequent follow-up thing, then we can talk. Yeah. Okay, so if there is a question talking about conflict. If the team member is intentionally creating a velocity and faking as per the management, decides a velocity need to be 50 and all members knowing fake story points, Okay, then as a Scrum Master, as a Scrum Master, when you understand that the culture is there for top to bottom, faking story points, how to correct, when to, and you are the new to the organization. So you need to figure that out. Yeah, probably I can share a little less there, but still I try to explain what probably can and work there. So if you enter in the organization and you see that people are not transparent with each other, they are using Agile, they are using Waterfall, they are using Kanban, doesn't matter. The whole thing is people are playing with each other. Yeah, they hide information, they mislead each other, they don't commit to it, and you are a leader who is expected to work in that environment. Yeah, what do you do? That's a simple thing. So I need to first acknowledge and realize that what is the quantum of the stage, how much distrust, miscommunication, and lack of transparencies are happening. And then probably I will observe and find out what are the core triggers of it and what is my control area, which areas I can control, which areas I can't control. And based on my area of influence, my control area, my role, I need to do my intervention. So, for example, this all is happening mainly inside the team. And I see that I am a leader of this team. I can fix my team culture, definitely. Yeah, so I can ensure that you don't have to be insecure with each other. You don't have to be competing with each other. There is nothing, there is no need of it. We all can collaborate and move forward. If it's a my team level cultural issue, I can improve the culture. But if it's an organization culture issue, it's a bureaucratic organization. There are people who just want to save their position. They don't care delivery happening or not happening. And these kind of people are your seniors. Yeah. Then probably you have a less chance of making much of the difference. You can still do your intervention space, or you can find out that people who might be little willing to collaborate and get the things done. But usually it is said that if there is a cultural issue, the leadership can change the culture. You can't change people's HR policies. You can't change their the way they evaluate people. You can't change their matrices directly, their PMO system directly. And if those are the dysfunctional thing, and you are just a small team leader, maybe you can't handle the org level culture issue, but you can probably create a subculture at a team level and take care of your boundaries. Yeah, so that's something one has to see. So which security rules we should follow when doing the code review? I don't know. You need to find out the guidelines which are provided to your technology and your compliance group, and that can help you to find out what is the intent of a code review and what kind of a security related code review has to be done. I think it's too context sensitive. Okay, how to align a team in which people are working on three different completely different stream. So not sure. It depends upon what is the need of alignment. So the idea here is we want to have fast feedback. That's the whole thing. And alignment is done in order to ensure that we integrate with each other's result if we are interdependent on each, and we see the joint product so that we can learn from it together. So now if your different streams are expected to merge and then deliver a customer value, I need to ensure that we need to work continuously with them. If they are the independent value generation stream, then maybe the alignment is at a very, very high level. Yeah, so that's something we need to see. From SAFe perspective, as you are using SAFe, they will only recommend that we should have, they call it a principle called cadence and synchronization, which means everybody should be following time box, and those time box should be synchronized. That's their solution for one of the way of doing synchronization and integration. Then they have a principle recommending the continuous integration to learn, to reduce the feedback loop. So the shorter the feedback cycle, the faster the learning. That's another principle, which again points out that we need to integrate. And then there is another principle talks about that we should have a frequent evaluation of working solutions so that we can find out the real status of our project here. Okay. Yeah, so when there are three independent streams, we may need to have very high level of alignment need only. We need to understand what is the proper purpose of alignment. It could be a portfolio level alignment, business level alignment, rather than things. Yeah. Okay. So have a waterfall team facing difficulty to progress the daily scrum, backlog refinement, retro, etc., with the team. So would you help them with some starting points to organize it? So what I'm understanding is there is a waterfall team moving to Scrum way of working, and they are finding difficulty in Scrum ceremonies. So how should we go forward about it? Yeah, that seems to be there. So in general, whenever we have new learning coming in, we propose that we need to first acquire the knowledge. So we know what is what. Yeah, we understand the whole thing. And then we need to acquire skill to do it. So that could be the same case here. First, we need to have an education with the help of probably a formal training so that the team understand what is product backlog, what is the intent behind the product backlog, why are we doing these ceremonies, and why it is needed, then our different way of working as a waterfall. So we understand this different way of working. Now, after understanding when we are doing things, say when I am running sprint planning meeting, iteration review meeting, etc., then I will face difficulties and I need to do something about it. So that is something we probably need to take a mentorship of some people who have been doing a good facilitation, good agile level mentoring, so that they can give us a context specific advices where people are stuck. So usually that role is called agile coach. So you can say that there is someone or there is a group of people who can help us in practicing what we have learned in the training class. So my recommendation, find a training and mentoring roles, yeah, a formal, informal. If you have another team who has passed through that journey, that team can become a mentor to this team. Not necessarily always bring external people. You may not have a designated coach, but there could be a scrum master of other team who has like some amount of experience or have been doing it. They can play as a mentor role and the new guys can start with them. Yeah, so that's a possible thing I can say. So start with the training followed by mentoring, and then they will know how to go forward from there. So there is a question that you are saying that you faced a situation where I need to coach 150 member team. They call it agile release train role. Need to understand how do we track or enhance the understanding. So the idea here is continuation to a previous conversation, where they are and where they want to go. Yeah. So again, it is very unlikely that you are going to train each and every person of 150 people yourself. You may have your team leaders extending your roles and doing it. But hypothetically speaking, the training probably can be given by you, but again, they will need mentoring to support that. So you need to, if you are following a scaled agile framework, they give you a guideline, which they call it implementation roadmap, where they have a curriculum designed for each and every role. So they have a role level training programs for Scrum Master, product owners, and team members. So as an agile coach or as a safe consultant, they don't use the word agile coach. As a safe consultant, you educate them to their respective programs. The program of a Scrum Master expects them to play the role of the mentor, coach, and Scrum and Agile caretaker for their team. So if you train those Scrum Master well, then they know what they have to do and they will be able to execute their job at a team level, and you should be able to help the overall improvement in the team with the help of your extended Scrum Master group. So you follow the scaled agile curriculum path, which is well explained in the template called Safe Implementation Roadmap, which primarily talks about educating each role about SAFe, give the responsibility to Scrum Master, which they are expected to have, mentor them, coach them so that they are ready to execute their responsibility. And once they are start doing it, you give them frequent feedbacks, and based on that, you have some assessment. The Scaled Agile also has assessment framework. They call it business agility assessment thing, where you can periodically check the competency. How are we doing around technical agility competency? How are we doing around Agile product delivery competency by using the assessment test, which you can download from scaleagileframework.com. So you as a coach conduct those assessments, you have a baseline information, and then frequently you revisit to those assessments and see how things are improving. And accordingly, you work with your Scrum Masters and take the journey forward. So this is what I see most of the people, sometime as a release train engineer or sometime as a safe consultant, people doing in the safe context when they coach the whole agile release train. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. Now, keeping tracking suggestion, you will use the appropriate tools there as well. You will have your improvement backlog, you will have your team backlog. So you need to use the appropriate tool as you understand them. A Scrum Master will do their job in the maximum cases, but you should have a mechanism to handle it. Now, there are various tools available which supports the safe way of working. The Jira has an extended product called Jira Align, which is little expensive, but you can work with pure Jira as well and configure it nicely. The Azure DevOps also does a good job when it comes to safe. So depending upon your technology stack and your organization investment, they may pick up something. But yeah, that's the overall approach which works. Yeah. In my observation, there could be other approaches as well, but yeah, in my observation, that's what I have seen. Yeah. Okay, so we have a question. As the companies are more focused on Scrum Master to be technical, being from non-technical background, how can I start becoming a Scrum Master? So what I see here is, it's not necessarily all companies focus on technical Scrum Master. I did my survey, it's been a while though, but what I observed is the Scrum Masters are expected to ensure build-in quality, which means they need to understand what are the things need to be taken care incrementally by the team so that the team is not taking shortcuts when they are doing their estimation, planning, and their overall collaborative work. So that much is needed from the Scrum Master. Now, the general idea here is, even if a particular person may know technology, but the person who is spending 8 hours in doing technical work, and you might be spending 2 hours doing technical work, and in your past experience also you have done less technical work, you might not be as efficient as the person who is doing the core technical work. So the organization where technical excellence are more important, where the technological work is far more complex, they don't expect a leadership or management guy doing coding. They have more expert development team who does their coding work. Many times they might be earning more than Scrum Master also. So there will be a group who is taking care of technological work. That is your development team. What is expected from you is facilitation, leadership, and problem solving, and ensuring the overall collaboration with the rest of the organization, taking the work forward. Yeah, that's many organizations are looking that kind of Scrum Masters also. We just need to find the right one. Yes, there are other organizations also who may want a team leader, come mentor, come developer and Scrum Master. So there is a possibility, but I usually find those organizations may not require the too complex development thing. That's why they want to have multiple roles in a one person, so that person can play a decent job there. So there are those kind of organization also, and it was always the case for a project manager role also, any leadership role, you call it team leader role, project manager role, there are organization who comes with the technical expectation. My recommendation is have a fair understanding of things which are related to built-in quality, like continuous integration, the concepts of various testing, the process of doing development. Even if you are coming from a non-technical background, you should learn the language of development. That much I see the need and expectations coming across. And then you need to bring what add-on you have, because sometimes pure Scrum Master job may not get you the job. You need to have some specialization which helps you to become more useful for that particular organization. Many people, they develop skills towards business domain. They have a more skills to facilitate conversation when it comes to product backlog. They can support the product owner, though it's not a role of a Scrum Master very, very clearly, but many organization expects that. Many people develop project management skills. So beyond Scrum Master, they get into invoicing, billing, other contracting issues, and ensure that overall organizational project management related activities are taken care. So see what kind of opportunities you have in front of you, and based on that you may pick up the path. If you are working in a service organization, learning project management along with Scrum Master role might be a good idea, and doing PMP certification along with your CSM certification can help you in achieving that. But I know many Scrum Masters who are coming from non-development background. From my own, like the time when I used to do development, they used to do testing. When I used to do project management, there were people who were doing testing and QA jobs, and now they are Scrum Master. And in some cases, they are Agile coaches as well. Many Agile coaches are coming from testing background in my observation. Okay, so that's bringing us towards the end of this session. So we have final few minutes and then we close this. Yeah. So one question is coming, need to understand from your expertise, are the opportunity to work as a Scrum Master role on a project basis, contract role, as I could not see on a Naukri LinkedIn portal? So what I'm learning is there any contract based Scrum Master job? Yeah, that's something I'm probably picking up here. Even if it is there, I don't think it's a common stuff. Yeah, the problem is if it's a pure project management, some deliverable, usually in my experience, the short-term and contract jobs works well when your own deliverables are well defined. But when your work is dependent on someone else, then it becomes difficult to design a contractual obligation, So that's becomes usually a challenge. But at the same time, if you go to a freelancer.com or those kind of a website, they do have some kind of freelancer opportunities available for project managers and Scrum Masters. I don't know if they really get converted, because those website has many responsibilities and options, but people keep applying and usually they don't get materialized. We have been working with one of the company and they were trying to do these kind of freelancing job by using those websites. They have not achieved till now much success. They have been trying from last 8-9 months. So I would see that it could be a contract, but it will be a 1 year, 2 year, 3 months, 6 months looks too small in my observation. Okay, so we move. Yeah.
So, guys, we have last 7 minutes. If you have something, follow-up questions or some queries, some other questions, you can ask. Drop your questions in the comment box.
Sure. Yeah. So, and do make a use of our YouTube channels, the things like definition of done, definition of ready and all. There are decent amount of videos available there. So they can help you. Yeah. So
Yeah, and we have some small videos on Insta as well on such topics, right?
yes, 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 yes. Yeah. So I'm pasting two links where I have explained just definition of done. One link I explained from the perspective of project management, PMP space, and then there was another link which is explaining the definition of done more from a pure Scrum perspective. Yeah, so that's there. Uh, here. So these are the two basic videos on DoD itself. Now definition of ready may also be available. You can pick up the video from us here. I am sharing the DoD video, DOR video as well, which can help you to find out the details here. So this is the definition of ready video. And similarly, we have a video explaining the difference between acceptance criteria and definition of done as well. So there is a good amount of videos, and especially if you talk about safe, there are 50 plus videos explaining your safe related concepts. Many times they are far more elaborated than your trainings. Yeah, so sometimes you go for certification trainings. We do run certification trainings as well, but many times you find these videos covering a far more detail than those. Yeah, so that's something is there. And then BOD versus acceptance criteria is also available here. So all the three things which you asked here, like one of the query came, these videos are available. One can go through and probably they clarify things. If something is not clear, then we can probably have a conversation in our subsequent sessions. Yeah. So that's all for today. If I see here, all good. So
and we'll be live again on the second Friday of August, which is, I think, 12th of August. So we'll be live again, and just I'm quickly again sharing the frequency of these sessions. So twice in a month we conduct these sessions, second and the fourth Friday. So we'll be again live on the second Friday of August, which is 12th of August, the same time, 7 p.m. And this link will be available next week. So if you have any questions, you can post your questions in advance as well. Thank you very much for joining this session, asking the wonderful questions, and making this whole session very insightful for everybody. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.